This is my new Shetland Saxon boat, Shetland Saxon 1986, with a 15 horsepower engine, swimming platform, and the project we're going to be doing is placing panels on here all the way around the back of this boat. So as you can see, I've removed all of this carpet that was originally on here. Very easy to remove, especially if it's been on there for more than 30 plus years, 40 years. And once you've come up to this part here, the idea is to basically put some PVC vinyl. So we've already begun that project, and I'll show you as to what I've been doing on. We've picked up some marine plywood, 6mm thick, a little bit of flex, but not too much. You don't want it anything thinner than 6mm from what I've been reading. The vinyl material is this, again 6mm thick, oyster colour vinyl. You can see here, very durable, has foam padding on the back. So I've already cut out the pieces and templates. That was probably the hardest job, is getting those measurements right. So what we did was measured up each of the areas, put them into sections, their own dedicated sections, and just basically applied. Once we've measured up your pieces, so there's your panel there, there's a piece measured there, is to apply some glue, PVA, special PVA glue that you'll probably get provided from your vinyl provider. Once that's on and applied, fold it in and then begin stapling. Highly recommended to get this staple gun, because you're not going to want to do this sort of stuff with a manual staple gun. You'll pick this up for about £10 to £15 off your local online stores using 6mm staples, so bear that in mind as well. Anything bigger than that, clearly it's just going to go through the board. So very easy to use. The finished product should look like this. Slightly larger piece. Here we go. So this is that back panel there, all measured up with the corners done, all stapled in as well. As you can see, it's a much cleaner job. You wouldn't want to do it any other way. Apply this onto the back of this boat. I'll stick some cedar strips here and then use 8mm screws going through the board into the cedar strips, which will then be capped off as well. That's a perfect fit, absolutely perfect. Once it's attached to the back of the cedar in the strips, that works really well. And then I'll start applying the other pieces in turn, which will be, for example, this one here will go into there. Haven't decided yet whether I'm going to have it square and then boxed off underneath like so, or well, I'm going to go at an angle and then probably apply another piece. And the same with this piece as well, which we've already cut up here. So that's another piece for this side, again with a bit of wiggle room. That'll tuck in there nicely. I need to take the screws off for the chair, which is attached on here, and then re-screw that through the ply and then screw back on again. So that's the idea around the panelling itself. So as you can see, you've got a nice fit there. I've already done the back bit here. This one's already done. Did that on my own. That whole piece there. And I've already done this side, the other side as well, as you can see there. So that is all in. It's not fastened in yet. I thought I'll get all the pieces measured up first and then work my way through that way. So that's the panelling on the back of the actual boat itself. The other project I'm working on is the cushions for the backrest here. So all of those cushions that go there and round the side, the back of the boat. So what we've got there is different wood. For the back we've gone with, I think, if I recall, 13mm or 12. I can't remember. I wasn't that fussed because it was for the back here. So the plan is that once I've put my foam on here, which I've purchased, which is different back foam, which is about that thick, glued on, so you'll have some screw clips here, which I've got. I can show you that later. They'll go through here. The idea is this will attach onto there, and then that gives me my back cover there. Then we have another piece for the back of the back, and then we'll just continue to go around. So there's another one there as well. I need some seat cover material. Likewise, I'll also be replacing these seat covers. They're battered, they are heavily torn, and the stitching's come apart. The piping has faded dramatically, so a bit of a DIY job on replacing those. And again, we've got the foam. We'll keep the wood, we don't need to replace this. This is fine, we won't replace this, we'll just replace the cover and the foam itself. And that's the internal panelling. Boat itself, as you can see, we'll just go in, what we're doing and what are the projects we've got. Here's all the cedar I was talking about earlier. So this is the cedar we've bought for the panelling. We're not using that, we're using that. I think it's 10mm by 20, can't remember. Here's the rest of the boards and spear boards and offcuts and stuff like that. So got plenty of that there. The overall boat itself internally is fine, very clean and tidy. It has the carpet all over the boat itself, you'll see here. I mean, this will all come down, it's all going to get replaced eventually in the winter. Some new curtains in here just to give it a bit of an aesthetic look. Picked up some cheap cushions from the car boot, as you do, and here's the rest of that PVC vinyl. I've got a fair few meterage of that, more than enough for that. The sink, kitchen area, the toilet in here, ignore the battery pack, I've just got it there stored for now because it's charging via the solar panel outside on the roof of the boat. The rest will be painting, so we'll get a lot of these off, and then the doors, panels will get painted and polished. The electrics, yeah, just going to tidy all that up with a new 12-volt consumer unit. We're going to get rid of that blue thing there, rewire it all, replace the stereo. One of the speakers doesn't work, but fairly straightforward, nothing that we can't handle. A couple of other separate installations. We've got a new horn to install, which I think has been attached, but we just haven't connected it yet, which is here. Not happy about that horn, but it is what it is. So just little tidbit jobs, but plenty of space. The panelling is my main key thing for the back. Should have done relatively quickly. Yeah, it's coming along really nicely. I'm absolutely impressed. So we will be back and with some further updates a little later on. Thanks.